Interesting. And we've switched over, and we're now live, kids. Let's do our countdown here. Hey, Rory, how's it going? How's it going, buddy?
It's going pretty well. It's pretty well. We're gearing up here for a bit of an office move this week, so Thursday's going to be an interesting one to see whether I'm even around or have internet of any kind.
That's right. You said you gave me that advance warning last week that we expected you not to be here Thursday of this week.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
I don't know, we might be. Depends if internet is put in place quick enough.
So why don't you drop a drone out, enter the drone command into the chat room and check it out, man.
There we are. Hang on. Something's not fair. What are we playing at here?
Isn't that awesome?
I got the mothership there, my friend.
I am totally compensating there. In fact, don't mess with me because I will compensate so giantly. It'll be unbelievable. Yeah, we were working with scaling.
Scaling working.
Yeah, we got scaling working. That's the thing there. So basically, we just added some code that says, hey, if it was just test code we added, it's somewhere out here. Let's go look at that test code. We can go review that, take a look at it.
Is your hitbox similarly larger?
Yes.
Would you be able to get through the same gaps as before or not?
Well, the gap testing code is not great. It doesn't actually check to see how big it is, but the coin collection code does. It does get a sense of what your box size is. So the coins I can get, I still have the same trick to get through the walls because the wall detection is really only looking for a point collision in the center. So it's possible if you're very careful to get between two adjacent walls. That's a bug if we were going to fix it. It wouldn't be hard to fix that, but we haven't fixed that yet. Jetsom's with us. AJ2017's with us as well. Welcome to both of you out there. Where is it? I think it's in drone is where I think it is. Let's take a look at some of the code here. And not there. I wanted to go to drone. Let's go find that. That's in here. That's in there. Here it is right here. Just some code right here. We just say drone.scale. So what I wanted to do, and we didn't finish this last time, and I'm not going to work on it today because I want to work on some other stuff. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to make it so that the more shows you had watched, the larger your drone was. Is essentially what I wanted to do. So I wanted to kind of, offer the built-in compensation service for everyone. So anyway, so that was what we were going to do, but I didn't do that. Part of the reason I didn't do this because we found we ran into this essentially a structural problem where the data, the information I needed was being tracked inside of the Mr. Announcer Bot DLL, but the place I needed it was in the overlay manager over here. And so I was like, left with some problems there. Legendary Moose says frequent flyer rewards. Yay. Yeah, that's kind of the idea is that the more, if I was not doing this D&D game thing on the side, I would be like totally spending more time making the CodeRushed, game, outfitting the drones with, power-ups. Oh no. Look, Rory. It's growing, Rory, look.
Copper Beardy is in the house.
Welcome, Copper Beardy.
Welcome, indeed. That really sets a nice tone, doesn't it? That music.
Doesn't it? It's so much better than the other guy. We're not going to say what his name is, but it's that guy. So we had some. So that's an architectural problem I've got to work out. I really need to. The problem is that Mr. Announcer Bot has a number of things to code that's tracking all the viewers, and I have the other problem is I got this DLL where I could kind of put the data, but sharing that data is not necessarily easy, and sharing it live is not easy. So I've got to kind of figure out an easy way or a good way to do that. I got to do some research there, and I wasn't really sure. I didn't have any good solution for solving that. So Copper Beardy says, I've been enjoying the fanfare clip on clip all week. Well, thank you, Copper Beardy. I'm glad you did. I try to do my best here at channeling the personalities of the folks out there, and so every once in a while we get a hit. So I've just fixed this. The next time we refresh, the drone size will all be average and normal, but we have scaling. We kind of figured that out. It was a little bit trickier. The essence of the code we added was as predicted correct, but there were other issues that we had to deal with. Let me kind of show you the essence of the code, because that was the...
Is in the house.
You see, Will Bennett's...
It's a slightly different tone to the message today.
Yeah, it's like as if Surly is just slightly different. But apparently my protection fee is overdue. Nice stream we got here. Be a shame if anything happened to it. Jetsam says, my chat seems to be about 5 to 7 seconds delayed. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm not sure how to fix that. I think there's an option in Twitch where you might want to see if you can research this on the side while we're moving forward. I think there's an option to get a faster, less latency on your stream that I knew about a year ago. I'm not sure if that option still exists or if they've just made it standard for everyone. So, so the scaling works, and it's interesting because I might use it for to save resources. I might create for fast effects, like I have these the blood effects here. Hold on a second.
Bushwhacker.
Let's go get some blood effects here. That one. That kind of a thing. I've got this stuff, which is, it's essentially a full screen effect. It is a 1920 by 1080 PNG sequence of images animation that our engine is running, and that's kind of what we're doing there. And I might use it to create smaller images and then scale them up for things that are fast and maybe blurry, that sort of thing. That where the sound effect really puts it out there. Roy says he's delayed by about 2 seconds for him. Chat seems instant. Perhaps try refreshing. When you say the chat is delayed, you're saying you type something in and it's about 5 to 7 seconds later you see the chat? Or are you saying you're seeing evidence of it here? Go ahead and try that.
It pops up behind the clock 5 to 7 seconds later.
That's what I was thinking, and maybe they were saying it first. But now I'm thinking maybe if they're saying chat's delayed, it's taking about that long for them to see their own chat messages. Yeah, I'm not sure. Doesn't feel like anything I can solve on this side over here. By the way, speaking of Copper Beardy, did we get him? Did you get his email, Rory?
Yeah, that's all sorted, and I believe it has actually gone back out to him.
Okay, perfect. All right. So Copper Beardy, reach out to me on Twitch direct message if you have not received download instructions for CodeRushed. And anybody else listening who wants a copy of CodeRushed, just let us know right here. We'll hopefully see that in the chat, and we will direct message you with instructions for how you can get your copy of CodeRushed. All right, cool. Let's see. Let's close the scroll up here. So what are we going to do today? Today, what'd you say?
Good question.
Quick question. Okay, cool. Copper Beardy says, got it, and it's installed. And also, Jetsam says, refreshing is better. Yeah, if you have any questions, any folks out there who are CodeRushed users, you have any questions on CodeRushed, we're both, Roy and I, are great resources on that. You can ask us live, and we can, help out during the show.
The questions. We like helping.
We do like helping. Let me just switch my view, get rid of Fred here for a second. Let's get rid of the dragon front overlay. I'll refresh it. And that'll put on our Dungeons and Dragons clock over there. That's what's going on over that side over there. Let me dock while we're in here as well. It's kind of funny. Oh, I was going to say,
You didn't have
AJ.
a bigger explosion, did you?
Yeah, AJ said, I did have one. Did you see it?
Yeah, but not a bigger one.
It should have been.
Bigger drone, but not a bigger explosion.
I'm pretty sure. Wait, no. Hold on. Watch Will Bennett. Whoops. Or sorry.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
It should be bigger. We made those bigger. They're about 1.5 times bigger is what they are. So anyway, there we go. Everybody's flying out there. I was going to dock, but no big deal. No worries. Normally we do music, or I just realized we don't. When you're on, Rory, we're in pro mode, right? When
Okay.
and when you leave, we like start rocking out to the music. We're like, it's like our parents.
Oh, that's how it goes, is it?
It's our parents are gone. All right, now we can work on the fun stuff. Rory's gone, and we work on that. So what we're going to work on today is damage. Live damage for the Dungeons and Dragons live Twitch stream, which we haven't gone live yet, but we've started doing. We've been practicing, and we're playing every Sunday night. And last time we actually streamed out to a different channel, not the Dragon Humpers channel, but a different one, just that has no followers, just so we can kind of watch ourselves and get into the hang of that. So we're kind of making progress there. But what I want to do is I want to be able to send damage or health over to a player, and I want to have a video effect associated with it. So I've changed the UI, modified it slightly here. I've got health and damage, add health button, inflict damage button here.
And this is completely abstract, adding health and damage, like on a whim for the Dungeon Master, for reasons that they specify?
No, it's really more in the Dungeon Master, like there might be an attack, and so you take 14 damage. So what I would do is I would type in 14 here and choose inflict damage, and that would do it on the active player, right? Or on everyone, or that sort of thing. Or I might say everybody gets 5 health, and I do that. So this is essentially a Dungeon Master's tool, but we're going to create a game engine that's going to allow us to play the game. And it's going to, what we're doing here in this kind of testing UI, this UI is here for testing right here. It's not final. What's final is going to be something that's going to look more like we're playing a game. And we'll have, and so when we do an attack, it'll be like drag the spell from this player to an area that'll be the center of the area of effect. Or it'll be like drag this spell from this spot over. I seem to have something on my forehead, Rory. I really appreciate it if you would just tell me, Rory. Drag this spell from this wizard over onto the target, or drag this weapon attack onto this target, and then that will trigger the dice roll. The dice roll results of the dice roll will come back, and that will trigger the addition or subtraction of health or damage, or other modifications such as curses, diseases, conditions like you're grappled or you're prone, you're unconscious, that sort of thing. So there's 100 different things that can happen. Maybe not 100, but maybe about 30 or 40. But they're in different kinds of categories and modifications, and there are different kinds of rules. And so we're going to be implementing all of that. But for now, I want to be able to test and manually add health or inflict damage to any player. Now the players are controlled here.
Lady.
So that's Lady right there.
Merkin Bushwhacker.
There's Merkin. Hold on. It looks like I need to send over the player data because I'm not seeing any over there yet. Let's do it again.
Lady McLovenuts.
There it is. Okay. And we're hearing 2 sounds because one of them is coming from over here and one's coming from the stream. I'm just going to mute this right now, minimize that. So we'll look at it only on the stream. So these are the players out here, and they correspond to a live video of one of the players. So there'll be a player here or a player here. Fred's there. Sometimes we've got other players with us as well. In fact, Dustin Campbell, some of you may know, he's on the Visual Studio team, a good friend of mine, used to work on the CodeRushed team, is going to actually be joining us this Sunday for a practice game, and he may become a permanent player. So you may see Dustin Campbell out here among one of these spots out here. We're going to have to support more players. Fred joined us; it was unexpected, and so we're going to have to make that clock smaller to fit everybody across. And Roy, you had a great suggestion of doubling up on the size, so we can put the time on one and the date on another. And I think it's a great idea. It'll require some redesign there, but we'll have to do that. So whoever the active player is, so back over here, it's going to look like this. The UI basically is going to select who this is going to affect, and then we're going to just click one of these 2 buttons and send the data out. That's kind of where I've started the day. And in terms of where we end, I'm not really sure what's going to happen. And in fact, I don't even really know what's going to happen next. I do know that I just added these two things. Rory can verify this. He saw me add these two pieces here just before we started, right? Or maybe if he was paying attention, I don't know. I wrote the player's health data, and I really should have called that singular player, but it basically has the ID of the player, their max hit points, and their temp hit points, and I think that's all I need to make some decisions on what's going to happen to them. Because I have to also decide how much blood to squirt out, right? You probably,
Sure.
it's, you know, I bet there are not very many Twitch streaming, science and technology streaming shows that actually will, you know, come right out and say that to you. I've got to decide how much blood we've got to squirt out, but we have to. And that decision is going to be made based on, it's got to be made based on your max hit points, what they are, and oh geez, do I also need the regular hit points? I don't think I do, because I can get that I can get that down below. It could be arguably and maybe enough. I may have actually oversent my data as well, because down below in character TS, I bet we've got a max. Do we have a max hit points in here? Max hit points. We do. And we're already holding on to the characters down here. M. Holloway 24 says, "Happy Tuesday, everyone." Same to you, M. Holloway 24. First time I think I've seen you out here. Glad you're here with us. Thanks so much. If you folks who are lurking, happy to have you out here as well. All right, so cool. I think I've oversent my data, so I can clean that up later, but I'm not going to stop because I'm running. So the only other thing, though, is I don't know if I've got a Signal R command here to actually send that data down. And it's occurred to me several times along this path of you know, this journey with you guys of, you know, should I just have one single Signal R command to communicate down and one single one to come back? And then the single command has data with it that says, what's the command that describes the data I'm sending and the command I'm doing? And every time I've thought about that, I thought, well, it sure would make it easier when I'm in the situation where I need to add a new Signal R command. However, it's not as clear in terms of the code, I think. So I'm not really sure what we're doing on that. Will Bennett looks like he's going to plant some flowers, I think. So that's super cool. We got some flowers coming in here. That's awesome. Flowers are coming in behind Fred right now, but if we switch back over into this view and get rid of Fred, there we go. We can see those flowers coming in. So let's see what we got in Signal R, because there might have been a moment where I was thinking, oh, I could do this and do that, you know, send that over. So let's look at what's in a Hubtastic base station right here. I've got player data changed. Yeah, I could do that to some degree, which is interesting. In other words, I could just automatically.
Effectively, it's an update for the whole of the character.
Yeah.
Even though only one thing has changed, but you know, it's not sending it a huge distance or taking a huge amount of time. So.
Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking here. Let's see. We handled that in a couple places down below. We handled it in character stats scroll. I think. Let's see. Player data changed. It's right here. So we check set active character is where we do it. Well, we do have two ways of doing it. We say if this active character, if not this active character, or this is player ID is not equal to that, then we set the active character here. So that is a place where we could check it. But what if otherwise we call update player data? Set active character and update player data are two places we would have to hook to see if the data is changing, indicating they're being harmed in some way, or health is going up. So we could do that instead of explicitly calling for the action. I kind of like to explicitly calling for it, though. I think that's where I'm going to go.
Okay.
So let's go look at player data change. That's kind of what we're looking at. We're going to follow that model. So I'm just going to come in here and I'm going to look through the entire solution for that. And we're going to go through, and I guess I'm going to have to kill Mr. AnnouncerBot here. Straight butter. Whoa, geez. I got to get like an umbrella or something, Rory.
Yeah.
This show is like really...
Not seen our friend Straight Butter in a while.
Yeah, I know. I was just going to say, I was so glad you're here. Straight butter. Good to see you.
It's a good job we've got like a proper fanfare system. Otherwise, we might have missed that and not known.
You're right. You're right. It's a proper fanfare system. Once again, Rory demonstrating he's from England. He's authentic. He's not some actor in Hollywood, right? You know, faking an accent. Right, Rory?
My acting props is good.
Yeah, his acting props is good, but he's still not a professional actor. Okay, so I'm just going to go through. Let's. We're going to kill. I'm just going to hit Shift F5 here. Or no, you know what? I'm not going to hit Shift F5 because I'm worried that I might be in the middle of a save here, and I might try to, you know, stop that. So I'm going to instead try to. Let's see if I can do that, and close this, and close. I'm just going to do a proper close here. Close everything out. We're going to make this change and restart is what we're going to do. View, where was it? Really? Did you clear them? Did we find this before or no? Yeah. Is that right, or is find all files in another place? Find all. It is. It puts it data in another thing. So what is that? Is that accessible from find results? Find symbol results? No. How do we get to the find? That's interesting.
I don't use them menus. These keystrokes.
Right, but I've already did the find. I had the data. I stopped debugging and it reset everything. How do I get this window up is my question. Why isn't it here in find
it should
results?
Be find results 1 or 2, depending on what's currently considered default.
Yeah. Guess what Mark is going to do right now? I'm going to come in here and we are going to log an issue here for the Visual Studio team. I'm going to say go back about a minute. And I'm going to say, where is the find menu? So Visual Studio team, I think, so I'm going to put that in there. That should send an email to Rory and myself with a link in it to just moments before this time, if everything is working correctly. Oh, except for what did I do? I shut this down, didn't I? That won't set the link out. Rory?
I have to go old school.
Old school. All right, so anyway, we're going to go through here. We're going to go everywhere we see player change. We're going to come in, do a duplicate line on it, duplicate selection on it, and we're going to say change player health, I think, is what we're going to do. So this is going to trigger a special effect, and we'll pass in the player data as a string. I think I'm okay with that. Yes, I am. That's going to be that. Okay, I'm good there. Let's do a tab to next reference here so we can find this as well. There's where we get the string representation of that character. We're going to have to add code here to do this, actually. I know where we can do it, though. It is inside of our event handler for this guy and the other guy nearby it. So it's going to be something like that, and this is going to be called change player health, like that, and we're going to go like this, and good, okay. There, we've got that. Let's come over here. That's one's fixed. Come over here, duplicate it. Oops, we want to say change player health. And I'm okay there. And I'm okay with that. Player data changed. Mr. AnnouncerBot Hub. Taco Tuesday engage. Taco Tuesday engage. Is that what Michael Jolly said?
Michael Jolly is in the house.
Michael Jolly's in the house. Welcome, Michael Jolly. Glad to have you with us. I got everything shut down, so I manually brought you up here. Instafluff is with us. Instafluff. Holy cow. Instafluff, we're so glad you're here. I got to work on it. If you show up one more time, Instafluff, I promise you, I'll make you a fanfare. That's super awesome. I've kind of like thought about it.
You kind of just want the excuse, don't you?
Can you, Roy, you want to let Instafluff know what we're doing, what we're working on here?
Wow. Well, Instafluff, basically we're talking about taking damage, or for that matter, giving health for sort of semi-arbitrary reasons for our Dungeons and Dragons stream, which will of course be starting very soon now, I'm sure. This again harks back to all of the facilities that we've given a Dungeon Master, the ability to roll dice for varying reasons, for giving statistical chance of things happening based on people's attributes, updating those attributes when necessary, and basically all of that good stuff. So this is the arbitrary giving of health and taking of damage that we are working on. So what we want to do is to send an appropriate message to convey that happening, so that our signal R is updating. We have previously used player data changed, and we're just investigating that to make it just a little bit more, I guess, appropriate to the task.
Yeah, I'm just realizing I really only need to send that string in there to it, the player data to it right there. So change player health is there. Okay, so I'm just going back and updating all those. Change player health is there. There. The trigger for it is, we put that down there already. So we'll fill out that trigger later after we get started. Change player health there is updated. This right here is just the player data. And change player health, just the player data. Just the player data. Okay. And looks like that's done. And then now we're down into TypeScript code right here, I think. Everything else is TypeScript. Yeah, everything else is TypeScript. Okay, so all the TypeScript stuff we can add later. Let's shut down every instance of Chrome. Let's go ahead and get started. We'll kick everything in. Yeah, I'm so glad Instafluff is here. My day automatically is better, Rory, when Instafluff is here. He's like, you know what I mean? He is like, it's like you cannot have a bad day with that guy nearby. Have you seen his show, Rory?
I have not, no.
Okay, you got to see his show. It is like, and I don't think this is an insult. I'm gonna venture to say that this is not an insult. Instafluff says, same goes for you too. Well, thank you, sir, but I am like not you. I am like, I'm like, not even on a graph. I'm not even like, you don't even see me up here. You're like off the charts. He's like the Mr. Rogers, the young, cool, hip Mr. Rogers of the internet world. Do you know who Mr. Rogers is even? Is that like a
I do.
You do?
That's we are aware. Straight butter once again.
Yeah. Straight butter says, hey, I'd agree with that. If you're having a bad day, go and watch Instafluff stream. I totally agree with that. Totally agree with that. Okay. All right, so let's see. We're running now. Let's see what we've got here. Oh my gosh, says Instafluff right there. That's what I'm talking about, Instafluff. These fanfares. I make these fanfares for our friends out here. You want to see, can I show you C# Fritz's? Let's show you. That's one of my favorites. Here's C# Fritz's. Look at that. Whoa. That was crazy. That's a little bit too much. All right. Instafluff says, so much praise. Thank you for all the kind words. Yeah. Well, okay. No worries. You're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah, I want to make something epic for you too, Instafluff. So, but you got to be on my mind. So that means you got to show up like one more time. You show up one more time, I say, okay, I'm going to work on it. Or maybe not. Maybe I'll do it without you showing up, and it'll just be here for when you show up. And the fanfares play the first time you come in and say something, and as long as everything's running. Sometimes we shut things down like we just did. Let's go refresh a bunch of stuff here. Let me switch back over to my main view. I'm going to refresh the drone game. and we'll refresh all the other pieces that are there as well. So there's the drone game refreshing. Dragonfront overlay looks like it refreshed itself. Scroll overlay, let's refresh that. And where's the other one? The scroll overlay. Got the Dragonfront overlay. Did I get them all? Oh, the dice overlay is not on here. All right, so let's go on. Let's kind of continue this thing. So we're going to use kind of edit and continue. Plus, we're doing TypeScript stuff, and we'll be refreshing the browser and working our way through this to make this whole thing work. So with that, let's get to where we can actually send some data out. So what I want to do is I want to go find that I think it's called inflict damage. Button inflict damage. I want to set a breakpoint here, and I want to start sending let's create the data and send it down. We don't have anything receiving yet, so we're going to have to modify our signal R on the TypeScript side and get the receiving code in, and then actually do something. But for now, let's figure out the data we want to send and send that down. So I'm going to start with a breakpoint. We'll use edit and continue here to make that work. Triggering the breakpoint just by coming in here, and I'm going to say inflict damage 5. Okay, let's do just one other thing here. Initialize player data. When we initialize player data, we get this part of the UI built, so we have the individual players for the game, like that. And so I'm going to click on like Fred and Merkin, and I'm going to choose inflict damage and click the button. Now we're there. Now we need to build that data up. And so I have those other classes that I created earlier. What was it? It was players something. It was a class players. Oh, am I looking
at damage or health in it?
I'm looking only in the current file. Let me switch to solution, and it was players. What did you say?
Health data.
There it is, right there. Players health data, right there. Oh crap!
You were of a mind to change the name of that
Nuts! Look what I did, Rory. I'm gonna have to restart. I made this. Oh, that kills me. I didn't make it public. I'm going to have to restart it because the problem is that JSON serialization seems to look at all the classes beforehand and caches them. So if I do edit and continue, JSON serialization won't, even if I add something new that's public, it will not serialize it unless I restart. So I'm going to have to kill it and restart right there.
An option to change also the pluralization of the name to
player. I'm going to do
data.
it. I'm going to do that right now. Sorry, everybody. Sorry. Okay, so closing stuff down. Let's do that rename. That means you want to tell them about how they suppress their fanfare?
Yeah, so when we restart again, Mr. Announcer will be on the lookout for your chat. It knows who you are, it knows when you speak, and will announce you as if the first time you're on the stream. If you wish to suppress this, just prefix your initial chat with a square bracket, let us say an open square bracket. As you see, Will Smith, his most recent one, has done there. Will Smith? That's not right. It's Will Bennett.
Will Bennett. Yeah.
Very different people, I'm quite sure.
You know what? I'm just going to do this. I'm just going to change this to player IDs is what I'm going to change this to. Player IDs like this. It's just going to be a list of ints is what I'm going to have it be. And that's what I'm going to do because all we need is the player ID. So this will be the data we send down. That's what we're sending down, the damage health change. Okay, cool. Let me clear out every instance of Chrome because we need to do that to get a restart here going.
You're planning to inflict the same level of damage on all of the players that you send information about?
Yes.
Okay.
Or health.
Instaflop,
where are you located? What time zone are you in, buddy? He says, I just got to wake up earlier on Tuesdays. Like, the guy streams forever, Instafluff. He's like, he's pretty much, a god, if not, whatever, is below a god, semi-deity, something along those lines, right? The guy's like amazing.
Demigod, yeah.
Seattle. Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, you stream like I'll check in with your stream, and then I'll be like, all right, now I got to get some stuff done. I'll come back. I'll be like, the guy is still streaming. That's amazing. Yeah. The guy's like, anyway, he's really, really fun to watch, Roy. You have to go and check him out. If anything, just for a few minutes, right? Because what happens later on in life if tragedy strikes, right?
I feel it almost like I have to leave this stream and go off and watch that one.
Well, if Insuplov would stop hanging out in our chat room and do his magic, yes, the world would be a better place. But no, he's here with us. Will Smith
Hey.
apparently too. It's only been 3 times a week. Okay, well that's what I'm doing too. But yeah, I think all right. So let's see. Damage health change is there. I think we hit a run, and we're started up. That means we need to reload our. And let's show. You know what? We should show off too, since Insuplov is here and he's not normally with us. We should show the dice rolling stuff where it is right now because it's kind of really close to beautiful. Here we go. In fact, I think not everybody's seen this, including some of the new stuff that has been added to as well. Let's see here. Let's switch to
Lady McLovenuts.
Let's go over to Fred. Fred's to do this. So Fred has got a roll. So Fred can do add these kind of special things afterwards. So if he does a hit, we go out here and do an attack with this. And if that does a hit, looks like a hit. He can come up with a goading attack and add to it with a special damage dice right there, which is in the form of the dragon effect right there. So kind of cool. That's one of the cool things.
Instafluff says, holy moly, now there's character sheet animations. Instafluff, there's quite a lot now.
Yeah, you take a look at this too.
Dice.
There's damage dice too. So let's say, I'm just going to roll some damage dice here. Let's say we had to roll 3 D12s, which is my favorite damage dice. It's just gorgeous shape. We can choose what the damage type is going to be here. So I'm going to do 3 acid damage right here. And there it is right there. There's the dice coming out with the acid damage effects. I'll do a couple of these and then we'll kind of get back to the code. That's bludgeoning. Cold. Right, so we got all of those fire. Fire is very cool. I like the fire effect. Right, just spinning around the die like that. Very cool.
But the system understands more than that, because if you were to try and bend luck after one of these, if you had a capacity to do that, then it will effectively freeze your existing dice in play and re-roll one of them. Is that the way that particular mechanic works?
Yeah. So you're saying if somebody rolls less than a certain value, is that right?
Well, remember, I forget what causes it, but when your initial rolls get frozen in place, and then there's an extra die gets thrown in, effectively to
all kinds of things can happen
augment there, or whatever. Yeah. So there's a lot of the basic D&D stuff is understood by these things. Let's
show you Ava. So we're going to do Ava. We're going to roll. We're going to do a great sword attack right here. I'm going to modify it here so it takes like 4 D12s. Oh, no, wait, 4D. We'll make them 4D6s. And we'll go ahead and do her Paladin Smite attack in here. She has a feature where she rolls a 2 or a 1, she re-rolls it. So watch those get taken away. The other dice are frozen, and she gets 2 more damage rolls right there. But she gets 2 1s.
That's a hit.
So sometimes it works to her advantage, sometimes it does not in that case. But that's an example right there. Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff going on, a lot of effects. Yeah, we're super excited about how good it looks, and we think that once we start streaming live, it'll be excellent. This is Fred. Fred is one of the characters from the show. Sometimes he sits in on my show and just kind of, watches us write code as well. So, all right. So let's go. We've got our damage health change pieces. That's what we're going to serialize and send. So we need to go back to our breakpoint right here. We need to inflict some damage. Let's go ahead and do that. So we're going to say 5 and inflict damage. That's going to go only to Ava. And so now we need to figure out what the code is that we're going to write here. So I think we're going to, at very least, we're going to need a new one of these, like that. And perf issue. Guess what, Rory? I'm gonna do this right now because since we are running and everything's going here, we're at a breakpoint. So I think I have to run the breakpoint. No, just
doing things now, are we?
What'd you say?
We're going to use the official new mechanic for reporting these
Yeah,
things
that's what I'm
ourselves.
saying. But I've got so I've got the perf issue right there, and I'll take it back about a minute, I think, and I'm going to say perf issue invoking
So for those wondering exactly what's going on at the moment, Mark is constructing a command to send to the chat window, which will be monitored by Mr. AnnouncerBot, which will then be taken up by Mr. AnnouncerBot, and in fact record and create an email to himself, myself, all the relevant devs, and including a link to the live stream
Right.
in the exact location that he specifies, saying this is where an issue happened. Please investigate.
Right. That just happened.
Yeah.
So that command also zipped up all my logs and sent them as well. Cool. Yeah, InstaFlop says it looks amazing. And hi, Fred. Yeah. So Fred says in his own way, he says hi back. All right. So let's see. All right. So I'm going to set the breakpoint again because I wanted to report that issue there. It was the first time I think I used it here. I don't know. Maybe it was like a caching kind of thing. In fact, if we come back in, we come back to the same line and I hit 1, 2, 3. Yeah, there's a delay here. Anyway, I want them to look at that. So there's my damage health change right there. Damage health change dot, this is the value right here. And so we're going to say, what is, look at that. Tab text reference didn't work. Is it because I'm have code that's not compilable? That's what it was. Okay. All right, so here we are, inflict damage, and it's this box right here. I was just looking for this name, TBX damage. That's what I'm looking for. So since we're here, we're going to say damage health is equal to negative damage, whatever that amount is going to be. And then up here, we're going to declare that damage, and that's like that. And then we're going to say something like if int dot try parse of that dot text, comma out int result or damage. Sorry, that's what I want to do. Out damage. Then hold on. I'm kind of adapting from TypeScript to C#, I think, is what we're doing. So we're going to say there, the damage health is that. I can actually take this. We can move this down into here. And then we need to add all the players. I don't remember that code. Let's look for RBN, because I think we've got some radio buttons out there with the players on them. No. Oh, it's this, player role checkbox. Really, that? Hold on. We're getting close. Out here. There. Right there is what I'm looking for code there. That's kind of what I'm looking for. Let's jump back. And then and the checkbox is checked. Oh, there we go. Okay. And now what I want to do here is I want to grab the player ID and I want to just add that into my damage health change. So if they're checked, they're going to be impacted by this. So we're going to say this dot player IDs dot add, and we're going to add in the player ID.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, some perf issues here. Interesting. Okay, one other thing I want to do is I want to let's do this. I'm going to extract this into its own method. So I'm going to create a multiplier here and set it equal to -1. And I'm going to come down in here, and I'm going to say it's equal to damage times multiplier, like that. And then I'm going to come here. Let's just do that. Let's take this and extract this into its own method. Actually, before I do that, I want to come in here, and I want to say, I want to have a reference to it. If not null, by the way, the NN template here, okay, it'll use what's on the clipboard, paste that in there. All right, so then we've got a reference to it afterwards. So now the extract method is going to use multiplier as a parameter in there. It'll still use the TXT damage piece, but oh, look at that. Extract method did not. Oh, is that because my scope was wrong? My scope was wrong on that. Hold on. I had a reference to it outside. Okay, so one more time. Let's move that up there. Select this. Hey, CodeRushed. C# Fritz is out there. C# Fritz, how you doing, buddy? All right, there we go. So let's extract that method now. Now I've got what I want. So we're going to say get damage health changed. Glad to have you with us, C# Fritz. InstaFluff's out here as well. Yeah. We're all having a good time out here. It's like I'm trying to be as good as InstaFluff right now and as good as C# Fritz. Not going to happen, but trying. We were at a breakpoint, C# Fritz. That's why I had to trigger yours manually right there. I wonder if yours is going to show up a second time when I hit run. Let's hit run. Because I just realized when we're in a little breakpoint for a really long time, we kind of shut down Signal R, it seems like. Signal R kind of gets destroyed a little bit in there. I'm going to trigger the breakpoint again one more time. All right, so let's see. Yeah, that's why I like working in TypeScript more, is that it's able to sustain as long as we're not debugging, it's able to sustain those kinds of, long amounts of time spent debugging and making changes to it between refreshes. Okay, so we're going to get that. We're going to get multiplier. Oh, the other change I want to make to here is I want to promote this to a parameter. Oh, no, but I hit run on it, didn't I? I can't do it now. Is that true? Is this going to edit and continue going to say no thank you? Or is it okay? I don't remember when I hit run. Oh, yeah. Okay, edit and continue says no thank you on that. So I'm going to copy that to clipboard. I'm going to be like, all right, fine. That's a vestige of edit and continue. I'm going to have to delete this at the end. Delete the after edit session, after E&C session. Like that. What is wrong with my fingers today, Rory? They're not feeling it, I think.
They're not following the instructions they're given quite so well as usual.
All right, so there we go. Get damage health change, and we want to call this get damage health change. We're going to do that.
Mr. Fluff asks, what is E&C? It's the edit and continue feature in Visual Studio that allows for you to modify the code as it's running and then continue, ideally with the new code in place as if it had been there all along. However, sometimes it's not so keen on what you edit. If you edit, for example, a method that or the signature of a method you're already in, perhaps, that kind of stuff, or something that's already running, that has already been appreciated by editing, it's less happy. But at least these days it will tell you that it is less happy about it and give you the opportunity to revert to an earlier form.
All right, one more time on the breakpoint. We're now in the breakpoint. Let's take a look at what we got. Damage health is -5. We have one person in there. Player ID is 3. Who's selected? Ava Wolfhard is selected. Let's go look and find player Ava is number 3. Okay, so that's all excellent and good. Next, we need to go to our Hubtastic base station, which, by the way, I'm submitting to the annual competition for the best named class in C#. And I think Hubtastic base station is certainly a qualifier for that. Change player health. Now we need to send the player data. Now we need some sort of JSON serialization here. Let's go look at that code. I don't remember it from scratch. It's JSON convert, serialized object. Of course it is. Of course it is. I knew that. And we're going to serialize that, baby. And now once we do this and we send it out, I think we are out of C# breakpoint land, and then we can just move forward, and everything can run, and everything will be happy. Now that we've done that, we're running. Let me check to see if we've killed Signal R by seeing if I can start some music. It's not working, is it? One more time. I'm not even seeing it out here. Let's type it in from scratch. It looks like can we host that at the .NET conference, best class name of the year? Yeah, we can host it. We can totally host it. Yeah, it looks like music's not working. Let's do a refresh though, the drone game, and see if we can recapture our signal R connection. Do the same with the other overlays as well. The Dungeons and Dragons overlay, the scroll overlay. Those are the important ones. Dice one we don't have to worry about right now. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to now work on the other side of this whole thing. So change player health we've not yet added, and we need to do that. We need to put that over in our connection TypeScript file over here. So this is where we've got
sending the instruction out from the C# commands control center. It's a signal R itself, which will then hopefully now pop it back out to our TypeScript client. But we have yet to code that reception of the information,
right,
and indeed the reaction to it.
Yeah. So I just need to do this. So by the way, using CodeRushed, cool CodeRushed feature there called duplicate line. I'll do it again, show you how fast and easy it is. Shift enter, hit enter here, enter there. Don't need to change that. Watch what happens when I paste in change player health. It changes both of those two pieces right there.
Yep.
And then I just hit enter and I'm done. So that's cool. Now I want to go find execute command. I'm going to go tab to next reference on this thing, find it, select it, shift enter on it, and it changes it to change player health as well.
All those instances of change player health. There's got to be about 5 of those there.
Yeah, I think that's right. That's correct. But we don't need all of those. We only need that we need it in 2 places. We need it in 2 places, not in the drone game. So so we'll go take a look at that. The parameters are different. The parameters on this, I think, are just player health as the string, is what I think it is. There's no user info on that at all. You're going to be streaming from TwitchCon, Jeff. There are things we're going to do from there. Well, I'll be at TwitchCon as well, Jeff. I'm flying in and I'm leaving on a Sunday. I know it still goes on Sunday as well. I'm leaving on a Sunday morning, I think, but I'll be there all day Saturday and Friday and I think Thursday or something like that. So if you are, I'm going to be lost with what to watch when the streams go to TwitchCon, says Copperbeardy. Interesting. Yeah, I probably will not be streaming live because my setup is like, I'm highly dependent on multiple monitors. In fact, I lost one of my, here, hold on, I'll show you kids. Because it's not actually working anymore, and I don't know why. I'm a little bit, flummoxed by the whole thing. But this guy right here, I don't want to like get anybody in trouble over at Display Link over there. That's why I've reversed it so you can't tell what company it is. But this guy stopped working on me. I like plugged this in on multiple machines, multiple cables. It stopped working, and I'm in Costa Rica, and nobody's got one of these. So I'm like, how do I solve this problem? I've got one of my main monitors is dead. And I have no way to power it. And I'm like, ooh, I could do this. I could grab another laptop. I can grab my wife's laptop, which I gave her and she doesn't really use anyway. And I'm like, this thing is so overpowered. Why don't you use it? And she's like, it's so heavy and whatever. So I grabbed it, set it up, hooked up I'm on wired network in the office that I'm in right now. I moved from our bedroom into another room. So we got wired network, but I hooked up a router here, hooked up her computer to the router. Windows 10 on both machines. Windows 10 has the ability to essentially drive another monitor, to project your monitor, your screen onto someone else's monitor. I'm projecting it onto the laptop, but the laptop, it says, I'm not going to show on my screen. I'm just going to go out through my HDMI cable, which is going into the monitor right in front of me. So I've managed, while I'm waiting for another one of these to come in, I have got my workaround set up here.
That sounds suspiciously like you're using somebody else's laptop as a graphics card.
That's exactly what I'm doing. I'm using it as a graphics card. It's actually a good use of it. Okay, so let's look at this here. The active front game and back game. The drone game is not what I need. So the active front game and back game are the pieces that I need. Change player health we need to add, and we need to pass in player health. So it's just this one string that we're passing into both of those 2 places right there. And then so we've got that. Let's go ahead and declare that. Drill in, see where it put it for us. That's in game. That's not where I want it. I want it in, what is active back game declared as? It's just regular game here. This is what I want. I want more like this kind of code here. I want it like that. So let's go back up here. That's what I want. And if it's that, then we want to do this, and then I want to do the same kind of thing. If it's an instance of the dragon front game, I think is what it is the other one. So that's for the front layer. By the way, InstaFluff, I'm going to work on something really cool later this week that you might want to watch. I think that you might think is really interesting. But it's occurred to me a super cool way. I'm basically looking at creating a visual effect that has a fireball coming in front of me, my live video, and then going behind me, and then going behind me, and then back in front of me again. I've been thinking about this, and I think we have everything we need to do this and create this live visual effect. And I'm going to do it for one of the spells that I have in the Dungeons and Dragons game. I've got it's called Melf's Minute Meteors, and where you have like some number of meteors, fireball meteors, spinning around you, and you shoot them out as your bonus action, which you can use on your turn, up to 2 at a time on each time it's your turn. And so I'm going to do, that's one of the things that we're going to work on is spell effects that come from the person. Also, same thing with like you're throwing your weapons shooting out towards the people watching the show, that sort of thing. So, okay, one more time. Let's go back in here. Let's declare it now. Whoops, wrong key. Let's drill into it. Better place, but at least it's in the right class where I want to have it. And what's going on with this player data change? That's just sending it in there, the player data, and it's just passing it on into the character stat scroll. So, okay, let's, whoops, change player health. And just player data is coming in there. Like that, and I think we want to send it to the scroll. And I think it's going to look like that. Player data. Change player health. Because that's going to have the plus or minus in it. That's going to have what we need in it. And then if we've got an active character, that's just playing the name. That's for when the name is selected. We don't need that. But I think it's more like this kind of a call right here. We're going to pass that on to the scroll. So the scroll is going to have that data, and we're going to add it or subtract it. So there's change player health there. And if it's an instance of front game, why isn't this being, it should be underlined. It's not. I don't know why. Let's see if we can declare that and put that in there as well. And then now we're going to have this is where we have the front effects. So the blood and guts are all going to be coming out here. I want to see if we've got any references to characters up here in this area. We do. We have players. Excellent. And so there's where we've got players, and let's put this function there, like that. It's going to return a void, like this. And why not just log it out? We'll just do a console log over here. That's on the front game right there, player health. Whoops, did I really seriously copy that to the clipboard? Okay. Now if we do a refresh, let's go out to this guy right here. And we want we're doing a log in the front game, which is going to be the Dragon Front overlay. By the way, let's see if we can get music on here. Can we get music on now? Yeah, it's as if. So what's interesting is I'm not seeing, when I hit the Stream Deck command, it's not sending it, doesn't appear to be sending it into, it's like Stream Deck didn't like it either. And music's not working there. One more time. Refresh the drone game. Yeah, this is that thing, that really long. There's it done. Let's see if we can get music going now. Try it one more time, manual in the chat. Yeah, it's like it kills both both Signal R and I think Stream Deck too as well doesn't like it for a long time. Yeah, look at that, no music. Yeah, we've had this problem on other shows. We're at a break point for a really long time. We have our streaming software here, OBS, acts like it doesn't know what's going on. So, okay, so let's see. Dragonfront overlay, there's been refreshed right there. Let's send the player data out to it. Let's do a, and if we zoom out of this, I think we should be able to see the effects down there. There they are right there. Okay, let's select
Merkin Bushwhacker.
Bushwhacker. So on the front overlay, that's just has these pieces right here. The names are there. And then let's inflict damage and see if, by chance, we see something in the console window here. Cool. So there you
There we go.
So we're seeing player ID 2, which better be Merkin, or is that right? Oh, no, wait. Yes, that's it. That's the ID right
Sounds
there.
good.
Right there, yeah. So that's what we're looking at, and the health is -5. So that looks good. All right, so next, let's see if we can do something. Well, this is the front game. This is the most fun place to be. Let's see if we can do a blood effect here, is what we need to do over that player. I don't know, let's search for blood. Blood gush A, B, and C. Trigger animation. Sprites is equal to this. It's essentially code that looks like this, plus that, and
Mark, the scroll is somewhat in the way of the code at the moment. But no chat.
Really?
Sorry. Close
no,
it down.
it looks fine. I just turned around and looked at it. I don't know what you were talking about, Roy. It was fine. There's nothing wrong with this show.
Ask Fred. He's on my side. He knows what's there.
And the chat is not connected to it. It's not closing it, is it? It is. And I have no idea. Test close. We could try restarting again, is what we could do. I feel like we've tried this before, and that has actually worked. All right. Let's do this. Let's try restart real quickly here. And I'll close this down and close that down. And let's go find that to do because I want to delete that E and C. There we go. Get rid of this guy because we don't want that guy anymore. Let's clean up that right there. Let's see if we get any luck at this. I'm going to switch over here, which basically doesn't have any of those overlays. And we're going to try one more time to restart and see if we can get a connection. I feel like we've done this in the past and this has worked. Hold on, InstaFluff. The music is, if it's going to work after we start up. What's our build error? Oh, okay. Fair enough. Let's do that for now. Yesterday, I fried up 3 packages of bacon, ate 1 full package.
Benefits.
Oh my gosh, you want to see something cool?
Go on.
Yes, you do. Oh,
Sure.
really?
Always.
Hold on a second. Let me get a link to this. Hold on.
The thing about cool is that it's cool.
Okay, well, that's what I was thinking. That's a lot of bacon, says Legendary Moo.
But there was no carbs involved, so it's fine, right?
Yeah, there's no carbs. I can eat it as much as I want. Hold on a second. Let me do a search here.
Turns out the bad part of a bacon sandwich is the sandwich part, not the bacon.
What is going on here? I just initiated a search on, wow, that took a long time, on YouTube. Okay, here we go. Hold on a second. Let me bring this up. Come on. Will it? There we go. This guy right here. It's taking a long time to load. Karen made this. My wife Karen made this for her instructional design course right here. Go, Fred. Back to me? Okay. Kind of fun. Not bad. Makes you want to go keto all of a sudden, doesn't it?
Oh, it's not a bad advert, actually. Yeah, it looks pretty nice.
Hold on a second. Let me mute this. Mute it. I want to go. Wait, it's right about there. Look at her hand. She was painting. She didn't wash her hand for this. Look at all that paint on her. Oh my gosh, woman. Seriously.
Oh,
It tastes great. It tastes good. It tastes really, really good. Yeah. So Fred is a great dancer, says InstaFluff. Yeah, Fred is a really good dancer. This guy is so good at everything. Everything is just like he can do a stare down contest with 2 different people and win against both of us. So yeah, he's great. What do we got here? We got some data that's being sent out. We are about ready to do scroll effects is what we're about to do. We restarted. Let's see if we've got music. Excuse me. Okay, excellent. All right, so now we've got that. Now let's go work on our blood effects right here. So this is what I want to, I'm going to copy this code right here, essentially. And I think that's all I need to do. In fact, there's even maybe a little extra, but you know, we'll try it. All right, let's do that. Wait, it's not player X. It is change player. Player health in Dragon Front game. That's where I wanted to be right there. I had a marker. I could have just hit escape to pick it up right there. There it is. Okay, so this is horizontally flippable for sure. This has got to be one of the effects. Blood gush A, B, or C. And as I recall, C is more intense and A is less intense. No? Is that true or not?
A is smallest, yeah.
Well, hold on. No, A is big. Yeah, A is most intense.
B is largest, C is large.
I just had I made some changes here. I just went ABC, ABC, ABC for medium, smaller because we had old blood gushes and I didn't like them, and I like these better. These are goopier. So A, B, and C is kind of what we're looking at. Looks like Will's out there testing with the C-type blood. Not quite. No, sir. All right. So change player health. So what we really want to do is decide which one of these sprites to use. Is what we really want to do. So what we should maybe really do instead is we should do this. We should say blood sprites is of type sprites, like that. And then I want to say based on something, you know, some decision, some criteria, we're going to say whether it's a lot or a little. Okay?
Yep.
Also, guess what? We got
the amount of damage, for example.
We got scaling, dude. The other thing that's cool about scaling, scaling, we're pretty sure scaling works around the center, the origin point that you specify for it.
Yes.
Okay. Hold on, let's do this. I'm gonna need a let right here, like that. What did I do with the center here? What was going on with center down below where I was using it?
So the origin point of something like a drone is the center, both vertically and horizontally. But the blood gush, I'm guessing, is center at the bottom.
Yeah, this is the center. This is where we want this animation, the center of the animation. Well, let's look at this. Center is get center of target. That's in front game. Cool. Glad to know. And let's look at what get center is doing. It is of any type. If it's screen position, if it's active player. Active player X. Get player X. That's what I want for its center. So I'm going to create a new vector that's going to be, yeah, it's going to be like, where are we? Let's go back to center. Where we were, where the error was. There it is. So we're going to do this. We're going to say let center of vector, type vector, equal new vector of get player X player ID. Well, we're going to have to figure out what the player ID is. Let's do this for now. Let's say, let's just say center is equal to new vector, and we're going to say 0. No, wait, we're going to say 960, which is center left to right, and 1080, which is the bottom, which is okay because the blood sprites, their origin is all at the bottom as well because they're designed to squirt out of the bottom. What else? Hue, shift, saturation, brightness. Start frame index is always going to be 0. Hue, shift, I think these are all optional. No, they're not. Okay. Hue, shift is 0. Saturation is going to be 100. Brightness is going to be 100. And then flip horizontally at the end. Okay, like that. So at the very least now, if we change the player health, we should see some blood. Let's see what happens if I try that. Do I need to refresh here? Let's go look at the other one. Is this working? Here. We need to go to drag in front overlay. Oh, and I need to refresh. I haven't refreshed on the main one, so of course it won't work there. So here's the refresh here. Okay, let's initialize the player data. There, and now let's inflict the damage. Hey, cool.
Hey.
Not bad. All right.
Cool.
Nice. Okay, so next let's deserialize player health is what we need to do. And I think I can find an example code of that over in this commented piece. Not there, actually, it's up here. Player data changed. What are we doing? Oh, I have... No. Set active character. I thought that was going to do it. No. Then it's down here. Update player data. There it is. All right. Okay. So let's do that. By the way, we can go check the log to look at the player health there. We've done that before, but it's just to remind us of what that data is looking like. Yeah, player IDs is the list of the players right there. Okay, cool.
That suggests that in this last test, you actually did not select any players.
That's right, I did not. So just active player. If I do everyone and I say inflict damage, we should see some blood there in the background. I'll do that again. And then we should see everybody's player ID showing up there, which we can see.
Technically speaking, we need to maybe locate those players on screen so that we can have the blood gush from each and every one of them.
Yeah. That's a little tricky. And it also impacts future things that I want to do with this. because I want to be able to have multiple players and decide, you know, programmatically where they are on screen.
Yeah.
Instafluff, if you're still here with us, you were talking to me before about a way that I can hook into OBS and modify it. And hold on a second. These are like
Essentially,
my...
you'd like to ask the question, where is this element currently in
Right.
this scene?
So here, for example, player 1 and 4, I've got Fred there. There's Fred, right? And then I also have me right here, right? And the other players, if they were on, would be here. My question is, yeah, WebSocket plugin. So if you can give me a link to something I can go learn about or study, that would be awesome. Because I want to be able to specify, I want to be able to go into like this source right here and modify its position and maybe disable or enable it. Also, I want to modify its Z order position here. Can I do that is my question. And that's what I'm interested in knowing. So if you know the answer to that, let me find it. One sec. I've been thinking about also integrating it with StreamPuppy. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's what I want to do. Because then it makes things way easier. Because we have a pool of like, you know, maybe 8 players. And out of those, maybe 3 to 5 will join us. And setting up different screens for all of those, it's a nightmare. I want to be able to programmatically control all of that. Okay, so let's see here. We want to parse.
You have a set of players like a deck of cards at the side, and then the active ones be brought down into this position for any given interaction.
Absolutely.
Kind of cool.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're going to say, we're going to call this the player health DTO. Is what I'm going to call this guy right here. And then down here, we're going to call this player health. And I almost think I should create a new class for it of type player health, because it's better if I do that. I like this song, by the way. It's kind of fun. So let's create this new class. I'm going to just create it down here at the bottom. Player health, and it's got, let's go look at the, I'm just copying from the console the text that we saw there. And that's what we have there. So we have basically player IDs, which is a list, an array of, what's going on with class here? What is it not like? Oh, am I still inside the class? I am. There we go. I was imagining C# land. All right, so we've got player IDs, which is an array of integer. So I think I can do like, can I do like VA like that? V array. Okay, so we're gonna call the player IDs array of int. No, number, sorry. Yeah, I'm totally conflating C# and TypeScript. Okay, like that. There's our player IDs. And then damage health is an int, a number. Okay. So I think that's all I have to do there for player health. And now that typecasting combined with the serialization, the streaming, this is all going to be magically work. And now with so now I know how much to take away. So now I can make a decision on blood gush A, B, or C, but I'm actually going to make a decision on how much blood to gush. Okay. The other thing that's happening here, though, that has occurred to me is we're kind of doing a little bit of overkill, I believe, on this. The sprites effect was basically designed to create a delayed special visual effect, but we know that we want it immediately. So calling start here basically comes in and does this right here, and does this call. I am going to support hue shifting. But I do like that start. That start is actually helping. So I said it was overkill, but there's a lot of code there. I'm not going to copy that. All right, so let's go back. We'll go ahead and use that start. That's okay. But the thing I wanted to do is go in and say that dot scale equals. I just want to try half scale on this and see what it looks like. So that means we're going to come in. We need to declare this. Go in, there's scale. We're going to set that equal to 1 by default, so if nobody touches it, it'll still be okay. Then down here on the sprite, we're going to say sprite.scale equals this dot scale. With that done, and we have to do the same thing here. Is that right? This is going to return this add. I'm pretty sure returns a sprite as well.
I think so.
Yep. So now what we want to do is we want to do a declare local here. And then we're going to say new local. Looks like we got rock and roll or something going on here. Dot scale equals this dot scale. Like that. This is of type sprite proxy. And we'll just call this sprite like that. Okay. So now we've added scaling abilities to it, and we are testing it with the right there, this line of code right here, to see if that's going to make a smaller amount of blood. And let's just try to refresh that and see what if we just test the scaling on that, and then we're going to come back in.
That seems like it should work pretty well.
Yeah, you think so? All right, initializing the player data. There's the name tags. Let's inflict damage for lady and go. I saw nothing, no blood.
So nothing.
Oh wait,
Oh, there
it
we
was
go.
background loading. So we were background loading the image, but that was it. So there, that's awesome. It's much smaller.
Indeed.
Super cool. Cool, cool, cool. Okay, cool. So let's do something like this. Let's say if player health dot damage or health is less than 0, well then we're going to do damage is what we're going to do. In fact, what we really need to do is damage, health, sprites, because we need to be able to support like plus and positiveness too, like
Yeah.
it's happening. Oh, check it out. Instafluff.
Ah, well done, Instafluff.
Roy, can you do me a favor? Can you mark this, save this for a future episode?
I can indeed.
We'll come in and we'll take a look at this. I'm going to throw this off to my left monitor, and we'll keep going. We'll keep going with that. What does it not like about this? Let declarations when used inside a block. I think I'm in a block. Oh, I'm not. I see. I understand what's happening. Okay. Mark the time, Rory. Okay. It's like I feel like we need a Mr. Announcer bot, kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know what time it is?
It's time to mark the time, Rory.
Time.
It's time to mark the time. Yeah. All right.
You could always Rory the time.
What'd you say?
You could always Rory the time. Marking the time.
Marking the time.
So-
Rory the time. Yeah, exactly.
Use your face, sir.
Gotta excuse your face. All right. Well, excuse your face, please. All right. So if it's less than there, then we're going to come in and we're going to say, hey,
First somebody.
if it's there, but now what I want to, if it's less than 0, there.
Copper Beardy is in the house.
Nice. Yeah, we restarted. If you want to suppress your fanfare, kids, you just start with you start your first post with a open score bracket like this, and once you get that first one out, we'll let you come in quietly. Yeah, getting a little funky. Interesting. Okay, so
So we were deciding which sprites to use on the basis of the amount of health change that is going on.
Yeah. Now what I want to do is I want to say, so if math.abs of damage health is less than 5, then what I want to do is I want to say, let's do this. If it's less than 10, then I want to say, let's do this. ABS health, or damage actually is what I want to say. ABS damage is equal to this. My tallest sunflower in the garden is 6'8" at the moment, and I think I will name it Mark. Awesome. That's awesome. Well, thank you, sir. Thank you. That's great news. You can send us a picture of that. Send us a link to a picture of your work, Copperbeardy. Super interesting. All right, so if absolute damage is less than 10, then check this out. Here's what I want to do. So it means it's 1 through 9. I want to say the damage health sprites dot. Oh no, wait. Scale. Sprites effect. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. VN LN right here, and we're going to call this scale. Set that equal to 1, like that. Down in here, we're going to say scale is equal to ABS damage, absolute damage divided by 10. All right, so we're going to go from 1/10 to 9/10 on our scale,
okay,
depending on whatever that is. Then down here, we're going to say sprites effect. There it is.
InstaFluff makes a good point. Damage health is already negative. Would it be better to affect that, or so to use negative player health or damage health instead of math ABS? So we've got the absolute amount of damage, making it inherently positive.
Yeah,
and now
I like it.
Right.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful, I think. So is this music. I'm getting down with the music, kids. All right, sprite effect dot scale is equal to scale. Like that. All right? And then start. All right, let's do a refresh. See if that's working now. Refresh. Close down this. I don't think we need that anymore. Send over the player data. It's been sent. Let's inflict some damage at 5. All right, let's do some damage at 9. Nice. Let's do damage at 1. Nice.
Love that little mini damage.
It's super cool. It kind of looks like it's slow motion because it's happening. We could almost arguably change the frame rate, right, dynamically. Here's 3. It's pretty cool. Let's do it on the live stream because, you know, here's the Dragon Front overlay. We need to refresh that. By the way, kids, if you, I think it was episode 142, 143, Rory, correct me if I'm wrong. We did some killer work with optimization of the loading of the bitmaps. There are so many. We've got like, I think 500 megabytes of PNGs for this show and for the Dungeons and Dragons show of special effects. And we are now reloading so quickly, and it was all because of the work we did in those 2 shows. Check out those show numbers for me, Rory, and see what they are on that. All right, just initialize player data. Dragonfront overlay is turned off on this one. Hold on, let me turn on the Dragonfront overlay. That's going to load up. So there, it loads up pretty much instantly like that. Let's initialize player data. And let's inflict some damage. So that's 5. Oh, that's 3. There's 5. Nice. And
Very
there's 9. Cool. Nice. I like that. That's awesome for showing a small amount of damage, right?
Yes. You were right, by the way. Episode 142, 143 were the collective improving of performance and loading of background assets.
Cool. Yeah, look at that. There's just 1. You take 1 hit point of damage, it's just a small amount like that. So our positioning is not working right yet. We got to do that. We got to figure out positioning. I think part of that's going to be a little tricky because I'm not sure the index of that. We'll have to figure that out. And yeah, that's the next thing we're going to work on. So player health DTO, it's got the player IDs in it, right?
It does.
So we're going to say, because we need to kind of do this for each one that's out there. All right. So it's going to go something, yeah, all of this, I almost want to say, I think this is an extract function right here. Extract method is what I think this is. And this is going to be show damage for player. And I just want to pass in damage health is what I want to do. Like that. And then this is going to go there. And then I want to pass in, do we have a problem? What's our problem here?
Damage health, the sub-piece is not of
Oh.
type health.
Thanks, buddy. Excellent. All right, cool. And
So we're going to have to presumably pass in the player or some identity of the player.
yeah. That's what I want to do. But I was thinking there was another piece that I wanted to pass in, but maybe that's just it's what I haven't done yet. All right, so fine. So now player IDs like that. That, and then we're going to say player IDs of I, like that. That's what we're going to pass in as the second parameter. Okay, and so that's going to help us find out. Now, then we need to find out where they are. We need to find out what their player index is. Show damage for player. Player ID. That. You know, I feel like if there is ever an afterlife and I have to be accountable for anything, I feel like the one that I'm going to have the hardest time justifying is why is it in some of my code I use ID with an uppercase I and a lowercase d, and in other parts I do it with uppercase I and d.
I'm guilty myself.
Exactly. That question is going to probably take me by surprise, and I'm going to be like, oh, and then it's like the door's going to open up, trap door, I'm going to fall through. My chances at, anything awesome are just going away because I have no justification for that, and I have no...
I've tried justifying that. It's difficult because you start off by going ID is like short for identity.
Yeah.
And that's fine. But normally when you go full caps on it, it's because it's supposed to stand for something, and there's nothing. There's no I and D at all. It just kind of looks good, aesthetically, maybe.
Coverbeardy sent us what looks like a link to his sunflowers. Nice. Look at those. Look at those, kids.
They're huge, aren't they?
Yeah. So I'm about 6'4", so I'm probably as tall as this guy over here.
Wow. All
right. That's cool. That's impressive stuff. All right. I just want to say thanks again, InstaFluff, for the WebSocket plugin link. I am going to be looking at that maybe this coming weekend, and we'll take a look at that. All right, so show damage for players there. We got to figure out where the player is. We need to find out, get player X. Hold on. I'm pretty sure that get player X is, it says player ID, but I don't think it's player ID. Yeah, it's player index. This is the player index is what this is. I used to have player IDs be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, but then when I wanted to start supporting multiple players, that's when everything got complex. And I was like, ugh. So this is the player index. And what I really need is something that says get the player index. So I need like a function here, a function that returns a number that's called get player index from a given player ID. Like that.
Now, is an index a presumption of the fact that they'll be in one of the 4 positions
yes.
on the left of the screen?
Yes, it's 0,
so
1, 2.
By a position almost.
Yes, it is. And that's what I got to do. And to do that, I think inside of here, I think I've got a this.characters, this.players. There it is down the bottom. Okay, I am pretty sure that players, let's tab the next reference through these. I'm pretty sure, yeah, here we go. Look at this. Show nameplates. We iterate through the players, right? So player in this list of 0 is going to have a player of a certain ID, and then we show their nameplate. Perfect. So what we're going to do is we're going to do that same code. something like this. Boom, like that. So let's do that code there. And then we're going to say, hey, if player.playerID equals player ID. Oh yeah, look at this. I'm going to hell, Rory. Look at this line of code. No one can justify that line of code. Right? Look at that. It's just like I got nothing. And I'm even talking about the question in advance. You'd think I'd come up with a good answer, but I got nothing. All right. Yeah, InstaFluff is smiling out there. All right, so let's see. Then I want to return I. We're going to do that, like that. Okay? Otherwise, down here, we're going to return a -1. Like that. Okay, so there's my get player index. Cool. I think we're getting really close here to making these blood splurts coming out in the right spots here. Get player index. So this dot get player index of player ID. Like that. And that's going to be, we're going to say, create a new number here. X is going to be equal to that. Okay. And now we're going to come down in here and we're going to say our center is going to be X, comma 1080. Holy cow, is that it? Is this going to work? Player ID. Oh, look, Leah, look. Ah, man. It's as if I knew all the problems were coming up. Okay, I think we're good. I think we're good, Roy. By the way, can you believe we did all the cool stuff while you were here?
I am still here.
I know.
Sort of, just about.
So there's a refresh. Okay, let's send the player data over. There's the names. And now let's inflict some damage. I'm going to make it a level 5. And we're going to inflict it on Fred and Merkin. The two guys who are here. Well, Merkin's not. Wait, let's switch.
Merkin Bushwhacker.
All right, now Fred's in the shot as well. So Fred and Merkin are going to get the damage. Let's see what happens. Only, and it's not even I'm getting it. It's in the middle of the screen. Oh, wait, hold on. That's on the live stream. The live stream has not been refreshed. Let's refresh the live stream. We'll test it there, because we can't really test that well on the other on the window. We could see that 2 would maybe come out. Let's see what happens now. So send the data. Let's switch the page, and now inflict the damage. Nothing. Okay. Let's go see if we got any issues over here.
Not sure any page changed in any sense there.
I think we got an error in the code. Nothing? Oh, come on. What's going on? Set a breakpoint. And I did refresh this, right? Let's refresh it one more time, just in case. Send player data.
Not so sure about the stream.
What'd you say, Rory?
Refresh the browser so you don't open the stream. Now that stream has had an effect there. That scroll did change this time where it didn't before.
Yeah, interesting. All right, so let's go ahead and we'll send the data over for Fred and Merkin again, inflicting damage.
Yeah, there we go.
It happened on the stream?
On the stream.
And I got a breakpoint.
Dual damage.
I didn't see it. All right, I got my screen blocked with other stuff. All right, hold on. Let's go back to the stream and see what happens here. Do it again. Oh, yeah, there we go. There we go. And we got some little bit of different stuff going on. Okay, when we have multiples, we're going to need to choose different. It's clear now. I think
a little bit obvious that it's the same graphic, isn't it?
Yeah. So we're going to have to fix that. Let's fix it. I don't need a break.
While you fix that, I'm going to have to go.
All right, buddy. This is the most awesome code we're about to write right now.
Yeah, this will be the new ever so shiny code that's going to outshine everything done so far.
But I'm pretty happy, Roy. Thank you so much for helping us through this, buddy. I really appreciate you hanging out with us. We'll see you tomorrow, right, Roy?
Tomorrow, yes, absolutely.
Probably not on Thursday, though. All right.
See you
Legendary Moo says goodbye. Have a shiny... Oh, Roy, one thing. Are you still there?
Yep.
I just want to let you know, every time that you've left in the past, I don't know if you've seen this or not, but people praise you like crazy in the chat room. You should just say you're going to leave and sit back and bask in the glow of everybody saying how good the show is, right?
Thank you all very much.
Right.
It is truly my pleasure.
Yeah, look what's happening, man. They're taking over control of my show, buddy. That's not me pushing those buttons. All right, what's it going to be like, Mr. Nutzerbot, without Rory?
Won't be pretty.
Okay, that's good. All right, well, we're going without Rory now.
Yeah, I gotta go. I'll see you all tomorrow.
All right, we'll see you, buddy. All right. Yeah, wow, that Rory's amazing. Oh, wait, is he still here? Yeah, Jetsam, he's still here. Okay, so let's see here. Let's fix that. We want to do something like this. And I love this function name I created. So this is actually, I may be in trouble for my player ID/ID, the uppercase, lowercase inconsistencies with the gods of programming. But check out what I did here. They may be okay with me with this chance %. It's a simple function, but it's super well named. So if I say chance % like 33 like that, I got a 33% chance of that thing coming in and being true. So I'm going to do this. Otherwise, I'm going to come down and do again the same chance %, 33 again, and it's going to be B. Or should I say 50?
Going off rails.
I think I should say 50 there. Else, we're going to go C, like that. Yeah, going off rails. I'm liking this music too. This is pretty cool. Okay. And then, so now we got some variety. Let's refresh the live stream. There's the refresh. It's reloading. There's the player data. Sending that out. Let's switch the page.
Merkin.
Let's send it out to Fred and Merkin. Inflict damage. We're getting a little bit different, I think, are we? They're looking really similar to me. No, I guess those are different. Because we have the two. The problem is, though, with these blood effects, look at how they're cropped off. So only like the blood effect, yeah, because these blood effects go right through the top of the screen. So I'm gonna have to figure that out. I'm gonna have to get other blood effects. Also, when we scale them down, they crop off at the sides as well. So I need to get completely contained. In other words, not ever leaving the screen blood effects is what I need to get. I may have to shoot my own. Maybe a special effects class with the kids over the weekend. But it does look like we are... does look like we've got different pieces. So that's kind of cool. All right, so I have to fix those effects. Is that it for what I wanted to do today? I think that's essentially it. Let me see who's out there streaming right now. Who's out there that we're following. You guys like Honest Dan Games? I think we did that, sent you guys there before. That looked kind of interesting. I'm going to do that. We'll raid out to Honest Dan Games. Kind of looks like some cool retro stuff over there. And I'm going to say thanks to everybody for hanging out with us today. Hey, thank you, and so for joining us. Totally appreciate it. Looking forward to the latest code check in on GitHub. I'll check it in right after the show, like right now. I'll do it. Absolutely. Straight photo. In the house. We're going to do that. All right, kids, thank you so much. We are getting out of here. We will see you tomorrow, and I'll check in the code right now.